Hello, everyone. We're just waiting for others to join. We'll begin shortly. Thanks for joining. All right. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Shreedhar.
Yeah. Well, then we'll begin the webinar.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Hope you are having a great time. I'm Shreedhar Hungund, associated with Desapex as a design manager, where my roles and responsibilities revolve around supporting my team, review overall design development, and ensure collaboration between internal and external stakeholders to deliver value to our customers using best of digital practices. In my journey with Desapex, I've been privileged to deliver unique projects and really transform the way construction professionals have been delivering and approaching their business by enabling technology adoption. In this session, I will share my experience and provide insights on one of the most interesting technologies that has been transforming businesses, that is robotic process automation. We will briefly look at the industry overview and the need for RPA. We will then discuss the areas of RPA implementation in your business. We will explore benefits of RPA and then implementation strategies and potential challenges that you could face in implementation. Then best part of the presentation will be where we would be showcasing some of the case studies from the projects we have delivered to our clients on RPA. And we will conclude the session by looking at the next steps we need to consider to transform your business with RPA. Before we jump into the topic, we request the participants to take the next 10 seconds to let us know their professional background. This will help us understand the audience better. Thank you. The poll should be on your screen now. Right. It is true that construction is a highly manual and a very expensive industry to operate in. It is also one that has been plagued with issues around productivity and quality control. GDP from construction in India averaged around rupees 2,282 billion from 2011 to 2022, reaching an all-time high of rupees 3,382 billion in the first quarter of 2022. In general, the construction industry sees high levels of costs and time spent on processes due to its reliance on manually intensive activities and lack of standardization across projects. Reducing the manual tasks and automating repetitive processes are two key strategies for reducing cost and increasing efficiency within any organization. It is also estimated that the global construction industry revenue will be about 16 trillion US dollars and the Indian market would be around 1.4 trillion US dollars by 2025. In 2020, the Indian construction industry stood at around 6.5 billion in revenue. So you can imagine the extent of the industry and thereby the opportunities that are available for improvement in our project delivery. Construction firms can implement robotic process automation, a subset of artificial intelligence, to reduce the amount of time spent on manual actions, increase consistency, and streamline processes. In this session, we will look at how RPA can benefit your construction firm. Then, what is RPA? RPA is a form of software that mimics the actions of a human. It is commonly used in business process management to automate the performance of continuous or discrete processes that are either repetitive or rule based. It can be integrated with existing systems, software, and enterprise management systems that are in place and can be used to replace manual activities across your organization using computer programs that are designed to automate certain processes. When we hear the word robot, we expect the regular humanoid robots. But in RPA, there are no physical robots involved. In simpler terms, if you want to move a stack of books that are on your office workstation to your office conference room, RPA will not be useful. But if you want to move the digital copies of the same book from your computer's downloads folder to your office server or any other cloud storage platform, RPA can help. RPA, like you said, works with your current systems that are already in place, your CRM, ERP, HR systems, and without any additional hardware required for their application. It all works with most modern computers that are around. It helps you to streamline workflows as by working as a virtual employee in your organization and then support in faster turnaround times. The output of RPA tool will be a software, basically a bot or a robot that is basically a computer application that is on the RPA platform or RPA software. Fundamentally, there are two types of RPA bots. One is an attended bot and another one is an unattended bot. As the name suggests, attended bots are those which require manual trigger by a user as opposed to the unattended bots that can be pre-scheduled or begin on its own based on predefined triggers. Let's understand this with a very basic example that we come across in our daily life. This can be something like our automation device that we use to control the water pump that we use to fill our overhead tank. This is based on a level sensor, right? So the level sensor is an unattended bot, which is triggered either at a scheduled time or whenever there is a low water level, thereby automated. You manually turning on the motor switch when you want to fill the empty overhead tank is basically an attended bot, where the bot being the motor and the way it is triggered manually. Attended bots can be implemented on a single computer, but unattended bots can be deployed across the organization through a central hub on multiple workstations at a time. Essentially, any manual activity that must be done multiple times by multiple people, which is repetitive and has a fixed steps involved, it's an activity that is eligible to seek automation and save manual efforts. So what you see here on the screen is a simple workflow of you downloading a brochure from Desapex website. These steps are the same for anyone who wants to download our brochure. This can be done by you or a bot built on RPA if this is something that you have to do multiple times to get the latest updates from our team. RPA platforms have functions and rules that you can use to position anchor points. That is a fixed position on the screen where you can ask the bot to find that image, text, or XY position of the window to click on a particular area. Well, Desapex as an organization was incorporated to enable digital technology adoption to achieve target value design, as we believe that this will be the solution to most problems that hinder us to achieve sustainable built environment. This is evident in services that we provide, where we address critical problems through technology integration. We are headquartered here at Bengaluru, India, and we are a registered entity in Sweden to support our European projects. We have worked with companies across the globe, majorly in the US, UK, Europe, Middle East, of course, India, and Australia. Our team consists of experts from various backgrounds, from structure and interiors, architecture, MEP systems design and installation, sustainability, construction management, facility management, and even software development. Desapex is world's first and only organization in India to have received the prestigious ISO 19650 KITEMAR certification for BIM design and construction. ISO 19650 is the global standard for BIM framework development, wherein 5 of our projects were audited and we got this certification back in 2019. And during our recent audit, we got this renewed as well. It's a matter of pride for us to be part of this standard framework that can be applied for global projects. And it's also an assurance to our clients on the quality of our project delivery, which we have a proven record in various segments, ranging from hotels and restaurants, corporate real estate, airports, data centers, metros, industrial, warehouses, and even roads and bridges. We have delivered these different buildings in various capacities, spread across wide range of our services. So our services are basically segregated into 3 main verticals, that is digital design management, digital project management, and digital asset management. Under digital design management, we help designers, owners to transform their traditional projects to BIM framework and BIM model development across its different use cases like visualization, clash detection and coordination, 2D to 3D model development for all levels of detail, construction documentation, quantity takeoff, 4D and 5D simulations, etc. Under digital project management, it's a unique service that we provide for streamlining project delivery using BIM framework, where we work with the owners throughout the life cycle of the project. We being reviewing the current processes to identify, to see what areas need optimization and improvement, And then we look at how we can add value by using digital tools and processes. Right from the programming stage, we work with the owners to identify project requirements and set up framework as per ISO 19650, identify project expectations from each stakeholder, the information requirements, the granularity and the timelines involved, setting up platforms to perform project management, clash detection and coordination with design elements, model audits, validating cost and timelines of the project are all part of this service. Virtually designed and constructed models are taken up for 4D and 5D simulations, sustainability analysis, enhanced with virtual and augmented reality custom applications for streamlining design decisions. During construction, using augmented reality and LiDAR scanners for rigorous construction progress monitoring, we help owners keep their project status in check and meet the desired quality and timeline. Once constructed, we support owners by helping them build accurate as-built validation using LiDAR scanners and as-built model or drawing updates with handover and takeover documents and information embedded within the BIM models so that their operation phase can be streamlined. We have in-house terrestrial scanners from Leica, Trimble and Faro, a dedicated field team for surveying and data capture, a team back in the office to process and register the point cloud data, followed by a technically sound team of architects and engineers to further develop them for as-built BIM models for existing conditions documentation, which can be used for further applications right from basic as-builts to asset management using information-enriched BIM models. Digital asset management is the next service that we provide, where it revolves around facilitating building owners to better manage their built assets. It could be using laser scanning and as-built models to develop a digital twin of the facility. It could be a dynamic or static based on the requirement to further use it as a single platform for managing their assets and overall portfolio. We work with clients to help them understand their buildings through a service called Building Limitation Study and Technical Due Diligence, where clients can use that for validating their building MEPF services, code compliance, and check for potential issues. We are partnered with Gronlund, a Finnish company that has decades of experience in MEP consulting and developing a cloud maintenance management system called Gronlund Manager that allows smooth integration of BIM models and physical objects in the building. This is a platform where owners can use it for energy management, maintenance management, 52-week planning, service requests, inventory and reporting modules that can really transform the way you manage your building. This also has capabilities to integrate with your current organization systems and support dynamic digital twin by interacting with your IoT devices in the building. So whether you have a building that is already built or have one coming up, Desapex can support to add value to your organization. RPA has been a unique service that has been helping our clients to bridge various departments and phases of the building life cycle to increase productivity. So we can imagine, or we would have expected some benefits from robotic process automation. We'll look at some of the benefits that we can extract out of RPA implementation. RPA can be used to manage workflow and routine processes, which reduces the amount of time spent on manual procedures and improve cycle times. This can reduce the amount of time spent on tasks such as data entry and document processing by up to 90%, according to one study. Robotic process automation can help to increase the productivity of your workforce by reducing the time spent on manual procedures and improving the accuracy of these activities. This can enable your organization to meet aggressive timelines, reduce project costs, and thereby improve the quality of your outputs. Manual workforce, as we know, are prone to human error, which is extremely costly in a construction environment where timelines and budgets are tight. RPA can help to reduce the risk of human error by replicating the actions of a human operator, thereby improving accuracy and consistency. Even it can increase capacity during peak workloads by working along with the employees hand in hand. Repetitive, mundane, and non thought provoking activities can be a risk to the health and well being of your team. RPA can be used to reduce the risk of repetition strain and other effects by introducing bots to perform them. Implementation of RPA can help to reduce the costs associated with time taken to perform repetitive manual work by enabling organizations to finish tasks faster and more efficiently. This also allows you to take on more projects, thus decreasing the cost of overall process and realize faster ROIs. Last but not the least, it helps your workforce continue to have work satisfaction and ultimately increases employee retention because they are now being challenged to take on more activities that really uses their best of analytical capabilities. Though the benefits outlined above are many, this doesn't mean that RPA is a one size fits all solution. Instead, it should be implemented strategically in key areas of your business to get the best results. Automating customer service provides companies to reduce time your team takes to complete routine activities such as documenting complaints and handling returns. This can help to improve the responsiveness of your team and increase customer satisfaction by reducing the time it takes to complete these tasks, thereby achieve greater service level agreements. RPA can be used to manage the flow of documents across your business by replicating the actions of an employee. This can include activities such as scanning, filing, and retrieving documents from different databases. RPA can be used to manage recruitment, onboarding, and training activities. This can help to reduce the administrative burden on the HR team and instead help them focus on things that matter the most, like building organization culture, developing training systems, or even hiring better talents. HR teams can use RPAs to sort and manage incoming resumes or profiles, feed data back into your database based on the profiles received, automating appointment or rejection letters and other onboarding processes that are prevalent in your organization. RPA can also be used to manage project related activities of your team, such as document management, event management, issue management. This also facilitates integration of existing systems that are already in place. We've seen these various possibilities of RPA. We would like to now streamline and focus on some of the case studies that we have delivered to our clients. The first one being digital electrical SLD or asset management and the schematic diagrams. So this interesting case study is based on one of the projects that we delivered to our clients. This project involved a power transmission facility that had almost 300,000 equipment and devices on site. The requirement was that the property maintenance team wanted to find a solution to standardize the information pertaining to their assets, building schematics brought into their ERP system and that could help their maintenance activities. The existing schematic diagram had the basic regular two-dimensional system that you have in regular buildings, but the client was looking to have this information of the equipment embedded onto the single line diagram so that all data could be stored in one single platform. The client did not really specify what tools or technology that had to be used. It was more of a problem statement that we had to devise a solution and a standard operating procedure to solve this problem. To talk about magnitude of future scope, there were about 30 more facilities that would require the same solution all over. So we had to strategically plan something that would have the potential to be scaled up and deliver in most efficient way possible. So the requirement is straightforward and very simple. So you capture field from the, you capture data from the field, taking images of your equipment and their nameplates, feed that data back into a spreadsheet, import that spreadsheet into the ERP system, and you're done. But you can imagine the sheer number of equipment and the probability of human error due to manual feed of data over a repeated process being extremely high. Desapex proposed to develop a digital single line diagram that has objects in 2D representation of the schematics, but still contains the metadata related to technical specifications. We used BIM authoring software, BIM automation tools, and RPA platform to address this. But still, the major challenge was to feed all technical information and equipment ID of these motors, panels, circuit breakers, transformers, etc., all into the system. We worked with the client team, like we said, to capture photographs of the nameplates and use them for capturing data. We used a machine learning based application that could be trained to identify the areas of interest, like for a motor, identifying motor voltage, amp rating, RPM rating, etc., and capture its corresponding value from its OCR engine to extract more accurate data. This data was then extracted from the application in data formats that can be opened in a spreadsheet capable application. The job is still not done. The next step was to feed this data back into the BIM object of annotations that are created based on the equipment symbols in the single line diagram. As you can see here on the screen, this is that single line diagram that we digitized. Where you see this M symbol, which is for the motor. So assuming that this is the photo that you have received from the field, so you see the motor rating of RPMs, voltage, amps, all being identified here. So we're training this on a machine learning platform that can identify these areas for the same type of equipment across those high number of data sets. So the RPA is essentially combining all these areas by a rule-based approach where we just have to identify the location where these images are stored. Based on the script, the RPA finds that location, takes those images back into that machine learning platform where all these images are taken forward for identification and OCR. So we exported the results out of this OCR and it looked something like this, where all of the list of motors and other equipment that we had in the building all listed here with the required parameters. That was then further taken into BIM application, wherein this metadata was fed into those objects in the BIM model. So the entire process had multiple softwares that it had to bridge, and thereby there were a lot of challenges which we will look at in the later slides. But this was something that really helped the clients to realize the best of automation capabilities using multiple platforms and the capabilities that a BIM model or your digital single line diagrams can provide. So you see this object, when you select in your BIM model, you get to see what information it has. Right. So now that this is done, this image at the end is the output of what we got out of this, where only those entries that were right and properly captured through OCR were selected. So now that we have implemented this, a set of RPA tools, different techniques that we have implemented on this project, let's see what this supported us to achieve. Talking about numbers, let's say you have about 300,000 equipment on the field. assuming that you would take roughly 5 to 10 minutes per entry, that would translate to almost 300, I mean, 3 million minutes, which, even if you say that you would bring in 10% of, or, 10% of optimization over the project duration, that would be about 270,000 minutes. Again, translated to man hours is 4,500 man hours, or equivalent to 562 and a half man days. On the other hand, with the automation, we spent about a month to set up the process and these workflows that were required. And we know that once the automation is set up, it's not a one-stop solution. There are so many challenges that we would face in terms of distorted images, or stains or dust particles on the nameplate, which does not yield right object character recognition. And thereby we consider about 20% of your QA QC and 20% of manual intervention to make sure that these processes are running smooth. Again, this roughly translates to about 358 hours and roughly 45 man days. So you can see the extent of value addition this can bring in. One thing I would like to highlight, that this the numbers that you are seeing on the screen is excluding the time required to process, for a computer to process this, since the time that the computer takes does not need human supervision, and the time taken to do that activity in both cases are almost the same. In fact, we could keep the monitor, we could keep the computer turned on 24/7/365 and only have to oversee when there is an error. So once the automation is set up, the future projects can benefit from this initial time spent and straight away jump into actual implementation. So like I said, there were many challenges because there were, you had to bring in multiple softwares that had to work together to make this entire automation happen. There were issues with terms of distorted text or unclear images, dust and stains on the photographs of the actual equipment. So there were many. So this is just one great example of how best of construction and technical understanding of equipment coupled with digital tools and RPA can save an organization literally thousands of hours. More importantly, not stressing your technical personnel and facilitate them to utilize their analytical capabilities rather than spend time on repetitive tasks. This also means that you can finish your project sooner, so you can get the most of your resources and increase overall ROI. I'm sure a lot of people are going to like the next case study. This is a scheduled file access automation that we brought in for one of our clients. We know that every day teams across organization work on a lot of projects that require them to open huge project files that take anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes to open. Sometimes even more, even though these are well configured computers. People who have worked on BIM projects and large data sets linked to them, even point cloud based projects can relate to this better. We configured bots to open required files and the associated links, all to be triggered an hour before the teams arrived to the office. So they are ready to start their work as soon as they reach office. So we help them avoid having to spend time in waiting for the files to be opened to start their work of the day. So this sounds great, right? So imagine this for a team of 150 people, the time saved over an entire project duration. It is scalable and saves a lot of time wasted in waiting. Likewise, there are multiple ways in which we can identify the areas where we can feel we can automate them. Thereby, we can cut waste and become as lean as possible in our daily practices. Another quick case study is for one of the projects that we delivered for our clients, where the requirement was to save this architecture firm to help them schedule, file export and upload to file upload to exchange data between their stakeholders. It was for coordination meeting review with the PMCs, the general contractors, and the owners, and sharing files with the MEP teams to incorporate latest design changes. So when you are the author of multiple disciplines and need to export content in different formats out of your BIM model for interoperability and file exchange with other trades, teams spend anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes based on number of files and views that had to be extracted. Then carefully take those and upload to a dedicated location in any of the predefined common data environment or project shared locations. While doing this, there are chances of delay in upload, or somebody might forget uploading. Maybe somebody could upload in the wrong folder or location, like uploading the files of level 1 in level 2. Maybe make mistakes in export settings, wrong views being exported, or the files being wrongly named. I just named 5 6 things that could go wrong in a simple export and upload activity. It's not rocket science, yet we go often wrong because it's just a repetitive activity. And I'm sure I'm not alone. See, as a design manager myself, I would have to either fill in for my team and get the uploads right by myself, or I must be the bad guy and make my team extend their working hours to get this job done right. So the point of automation and technology adoption is always this, which helps us and the people around us to streamline their processes. You can avoid having to enter these difficult situations by planning ahead and setting up RPA systems in place. It is straightforward if your computer is turned on and you have defined the right workflow. With this, you, your team members, your stakeholders on the project can all be happy. And of course, I don't want to get into the numbers and estimating time saved from this implementation, as it could vary from project to project. But you can imagine the savings and value addition. For an organization's growth, it is necessary for us to constantly evaluate the possibilities of automating tasks to add value to our project delivery. We are confident that you would also have similar challenges that you would want to overcome. If you have thought of them and you are thinking about them right now, feel free to text them here in the chat so we can talk about them, and we will see how we can address them, or we can reach out to you to discuss more in detail in person or online. Well, now you've seen some of the areas of potential savings through automation, and I'm sure this has got you excited about automation in various avenues of your business. Great. So you've taken that first step towards transforming your organization. So as we saw before, there is no one size fits all workflow or strategy that works for all organizations. It's ideal that you brainstorm these ideas with your teams, your senior leadership, to see what they feel about the implementation and expected roadmap for your transformation to realize higher ROIs. It's best to discuss these technologies and implementation strategies with a partner like Desapex that has proven capabilities in RPA implementation, to ensure you are not alone in this journey and you can offload the technology integration burden onto Desapex. So the first step when you want to start implementing your RPA systems in place is to first make sure to identify the current practices and workflows that are being followed to perform that activity. Automation and manual intervention has to be identified as to, out of this entire process, what activities can be automated and what will need manual intervention. And at the end, we want to define what are the goals that we are trying to achieve out of this automation. Once that is done, we have to implement it as a proof of concept to understand whether or not your expected goals are being met. We have to then look at identifying the positives and negatives that came here and see what best we can do to make this overall process of RPA implementation across different areas possible. So despite being a manual industry where each project is different and unique in terms of implementation and project delivery, construction can really benefit enormously from implementing robotic process automation. This can be used to streamline workflows, time spent on manual procedures, increase productivity, reduce risk of human error. However, as with any technology, there will be challenges in implementation. So we talk about transforming our business operations to digital practices, but only we refer to performing this in an isolated environment or restricted to a particular avenue. Like, in a design consulting organization, we talk about implementing 3D modeling or building information modeling for digital, for model development and design drawing development instead of printing, hard copy documents on site. So you're only limiting certain aspects of your organization to be digitized. But true transformation is being able to efficiently handle all areas of the business as lean as possible. At that point where we have overall transformation in the organization, we can fully realize the potential of digital transformation and its benefits in terms of ROI, business growth, repeat customers and customer satisfaction, employee retention and productivity on the job, future prospects of business, and so on. Right. So RPA is becoming more popular than ever with the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning. RPA tools can be much more capable in terms of activities that they can do, mimicking a lot more of human beings' interactions, even on an analytical level. We want to reiterate that no matter how smart RPAs become, it can never replace you. It can never replace human beings' analytical and situational decision making. It can help you to take. It can help you take the decision faster, but not eliminate you. So this is one great example of a bridge that was built in 1998. I'm sure this might have come across your maybe some of the social media posts, wherein this was a bridge that really is a symbol of transformation in the way we deliver our businesses. So this was one of the greatest bridges that were built, which was known to be an engineering marvel that was built to withstand the powerful forces of the nature. The same bridge was hit in the same year of its commissioning, where Hurricane Mitch hit the entire bridge, and the roads connecting these bridges completely vanished without a trace. And even the river that it was built across changed its course, and it was flowing in a different direction and not underneath the bridge. So the ground underneath the bridge now is completely dry. So the lesson here is, no matter how great our services are, no matter how great our products have been developed and the systems are placed, we need to constantly evaluate whether or not that they're ready and applicable for our latest market trends and business goals that we want to achieve. We might have excellent places and excellent systems in place, but without constantly evaluating the potential improvements and being agile in our mindset, we cannot sustain as an organization of the future. So thank you for your time with us this afternoon. We sincerely hope this session was insightful and helped in understanding more about RPA and how it can benefit your organization. While we enter Q&A, we request participants to answer this quick poll on the screen about their familiarity with RPA. Thank you. So there are a few questions that are already here. I will read out and answer them. Okay. So the first question is, can a small organization be benefited of RPA? Yes, of course. Smaller organizations can definitely benefit of RPA. Even larger organization, irrespective of the organization size, RPA can really benefit the way you deliver projects and your business activities. Smaller organizations can focus on their valuable hours on things that matter the most and let the rest of mundane work be done by the bots. With that said, you can reach out to us to know more about how you can implement this in your organization. We can take it from there. Yeah, thanks. Another question is about how long would it take to create an automation? Well, I must say that this is one of the frequently asked questions. Where a lot of people talk about how much time it takes to create an automation, how fast can we deploy it on our systems. So honestly, this is purely dependent on the activity that you are trying to automate. We have to first evaluate all moving parts and connecting them with the logic and feasibility of how best it can support you. We have to work with you to understand what efforts it takes from all users. Simple automations can be done in minutes or hours, but others might take weeks or even months. There's no definite way of telling prior, without prior evaluation. So, is RPA expensive to implement? Well, again, it depends. There is a wide range of RPA providers in the market. The price range varies according to the functionality as well as the complexity of software. It can cost a few thousand, few thousand rupees to few $1,000 for simple solutions to enterprise level budgets for larger organizations based on the number of bots and the duration that you want to deploy it for. Okay, so is there a limit? Is there a limit on number of hours or number of bots that we can deploy? No, absolutely not. Uh, uh, RPA bots can run 24/7 throughout the year. Sundays, Saturdays, holidays, without having to go for tea, lunch, or your dinner breaks. Of course, their downtime would be when you do not have power supply, which you can still overcome by having virtual machines if available. Right? Is RPA more trouble than it is worth? Well, I must say this is an honest question. We always, of course, need to see the economic viability and its return on investment. If developed correctly, it can do wonders. But if it is not done right, it can create blunders. It's very important that you thoroughly plan before executing, so you can, connect with us to learn more about how we can implement and how best this can help you. Right. I think we've answered enough questions. We'd like to end the session by talking about some of the other insights that we've been developing in the organization. To help our customers and potential digital enthusiasts, to help them in understanding more of the latest trends and techniques and technologies that are in the market. We continue to bring different webinars, written insights on our various social media platforms. You can definitely find them on our website, LinkedIn, YouTube, Medium, and many other social media platforms on our updates and posts that we create. Thank you again for tuning in. We will see you in the next webinar. Until then, stay safe, take care. Thank you, everyone. Bye.